I asked AI for a prediction on the outcome of the military conflict between Israel and Iran, and whether it could escalate into World War III. Here's the likely outcome of this war, directly from the AI, with no changes to its wording. The Middle East has long been a tinderbox of geopolitical tensions, but few conflicts carry the explosive potential of the ongoing shadow war between Iran and Israel. This isn't just a regional dispute, it's a clash with global implications, involving proxy warfare, nuclear ambiguity, and the ever-present specter of U.S. intervention. Today, we'll dive deep into the dynamics of this volatile relationship, exploring why a full-scale war remains unlikely, but why the risks of escalation are always just one miscalculation away. Let's start with the direct conflict between Iran and Israel. At first glance, it might seem like these two nations are on a collision course. But the reality is more nuanced. Both Iran and Israel have learned to fight through proxies and asymmetric warfare, rather than engaging in direct full-scale conflict. Iran has long relied on its network of proxies, groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen, to exert influence across the region. These groups allow Iran to project power without directly confronting Israel. On the other hand, Israel has perfected the art of targeted strikes, using its superior intelligence and air power to hit Iranian assets and proxies with precision. But what really keeps this conflict in check is deterrence. Israel's air superiority and advanced missile defense systems, like the Iron Dome and Arrow, have proven highly effective at neutralizing Iran's long-range missiles and drones. Iran, meanwhile, maintains a degree of nuclear ambiguity, which adds a layer of risk but doesn't guarantee victory in a direct confrontation. The outlook? A continuation of the shadow war, sporadic flare-ups, targeted strikes, and proxy skirmishes. A full-scale war is unlikely because neither side sees a clear strategic payoff in escalating to that level. The risks of regional chaos are simply too high. Now let's talk about the role of the United States. The U.S. has been a key player in this conflict, and its involvement could be decisive in shaping the outcome. The U.S. has already reinforced Israel's air and missile defenses, deploying advanced warships to the region. In 2024, the U.S. and Israel jointly downed over 300 Iranian drones and missiles in a single operation, a clear demonstration of their combined technological edge. But it's not just about military might. The U.S. has also crippled Iran's economy through financial sanctions, targeting its oil exports and banking access. These sanctions have severely degraded Iran's ability to fund its proxies and sustain its military operations. The prognosis with U.S. involvement: Iran is likely to avoid direct confrontation with the U.S., knowing that its conventional forces are outmatched 10-1 by the combined might of U.S. and Israeli technology. The U.S. also acts as a de-escalator, preventing Israel from overreacting to Iranian provocations. The outcome? A contained conflict that favors Israel, but with heightened tensions among Iran's proxy networks. But what about other global powers? How likely are they to get involved in this conflict? Let's break it down. Russia has a moderate likelihood of involvement, around 30 to 40%. Russia is opportunistic, selling arms like drones and surface-to-air missiles to Iran while providing diplomatic cover at the United Nations. However, with its resources strained by the war in Ukraine, Russia is unlikely to engage in direct combat. China has a lower likelihood of involvement, around 20 to 30%. China's primary interest in Iran is economic, particularly securing access to Iranian oil. While China may mediate for prestige, it has no military stake in the conflict beyond using its veto power at the UN. Pakistan has a very low likelihood of involvement, less than 10%. Historically neutral, Pakistan is more focused on its tensions with India. While there may be some rhetoric of Muslim solidarity, Pakistan is unlikely to provide material support to Iran. North Korea also has a low likelihood of involvement, around 10 to 15%. While North Korea has supplied missiles and artillery to Iran in the past, it lacks the capability to project force directly into the Middle East. So, what's preventing this conflict from spiraling into a wider regional war? There are three key constraints. First, nuclear deterrence. Israel is widely believed to possess an undeclared nuclear arsenal, while Iran is approaching nuclear threshold status. This creates a mutual caution. Neither side wants to risk a nuclear exchange. Second, economic ruin. A full-scale war would have devastating economic consequences, from global oil price spikes to inflation and infrastructure damage. Neither Iran nor Israel can afford the economic fallout. Third, U.S. force projection. With over 30,000 troops stationed in the Middle East and carrier strike groups in the region, the US serves as a powerful deterrent to state actors considering escalation. In conclusion, the most probable outcome is a protracted, low-intensity conflict with periodic escalations, contained by deterrence and US diplomacy. A full regional war remains unlikely, but the risks are always present. Key triggers to monitor include Hezbollah rocket volumes, disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, and Israeli strikes on Iranian soil. The shadow war between Iran and Israel is a complex, high-stakes game of chess, and in this game, the consequences of a single miscalculation could be catastrophic. The world watches, hoping that deterrence and diplomacy will continue to keep the peace. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global geopolitics. Until next time, stay informed.